Hey Alpha fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over the Bitcoin chart. Guys, it was pretty much a couple months ago that I was telling the group that we should probably be looking for our macro entries into altcoins in this ideally to flip area based upon the macro. And then, of course, we had a little bit of a deviant zone where we would still want to hold and to keep our altcoins, even if we came down as low as that 57, 58K area in this consolidation range. Which you can see that on the macro here is really just the bottom of the middle of the range. This isn't even a logarithmic chart. This is just the linear chart of Bitcoin's growth. Okay, so this is what the real chart looks like. There's no exaggerations here. It is quite a wild ride. And this is the bottom of the middle. And of course, I did let you guys know that I was looking for a new bull market somewhere when we were platforming there around 16 to 17,000. That was confirmed. I did start calling for a bull market in that 20 to 25K range. And then, of course, I've been giving advice ever since. Now, we were talking about pullbacks for several months that did lead into an ideal circumstance to buy for the alts, where alts basically double bottomed. If you guys are part of the group, go ahead and click the link in the description of the video below. You can join that group. I have macro sessions every single week. We have a lead researcher who's just been doing research on altcoins for years. And guys, we've been hitting just a killer, trades with a 5x, 3x moves just left and right as this market has been pumping. However, you can see that this linear growth does have an implied limitation, perhaps where we are, okay, with perhaps some just deviations to the upside, maybe 108K. All right. Or we could even just do a full spike even into that 120 or slightly above region before we might start butting our heads on some serious linear resistance. Now, I'm not sure exactly where that top's going to go, but one thing we can say is that a good portion of this move to the upside off of the low that we bought on has already played out. And if you haven't been skimming your profits, then you're not doing yourself a good service there. So what we would like to see is just for us to hold that a bullish control zone above 101, let's say a 300, in order for this to have the possibility of continuation, where we are going to look to see if we do just bump our head into that 107.5 to 108 region. If we do that, and if we get rejected from the bull zone in being resistant there, then we will be looking to see if we can hold at least 95.5K. Underneath there, really on the day, bears are going to start taking the lead. They could try to take us all the way back to the mid 80s. And then if we fail to hold this upper range of this linear growth pattern, then we could see some type of retest of the lower range. I personally would start looking around 75K. I'm not sure that we would retrace this completely. That wouldn't, be impossible. As you can see in the last cycle, we did the same thing. We basically came off of our lows. We hit the top of this middle range. We had a massive pullback. We came off our lows, hit the middle of the range, massive pullback, huge burst to basically the upper limit. And then what did they do? They took us all the way back, and that was a really bloody time for the market. Okay, really bloody time. They could take us all the way back to my macro entry area that I gave for alts, and they can just take everything away from us. So you have to take these upper areas pretty seriously if you are in significant profit. You want to skim maybe a little bit of profit. Want to be raising those stop losses up to something reasonable for yourself if you haven't done so yet. Guys, I've just been looking after you for basically 3 years now, and we've been just killing the markets all the way. Okay, so we called the bottom, we called the top, within a hair's margin there. And then of course we've also been navigating this range. Now I don't do the most updates, but I also don't make it so dramatic for you day to day. Okay, you just know where's the big entry, where are we basically in a pullback, where's that kind of late entry, and now I'm giving you the warning that we're entering that dicey area where again, if you did catch that impulsive move, or if you were lucky enough to get in on the bottom with us, then of course you probably want to be realizing some of your profits just in case we enter a little bit of a turbulent era. As politics shift, that does mean that economies shift. That does mean that winners and losers are formed. I do expect crypto to overall be a winner in this new kind of economic era that's coming up with the new politics, with the new macroeconomics that are going to come out of the Trump administration. However, that doesn't mean that there can't be just temporary, right, pullbacks, that there can't be temporary resets in the market because of that turbulence that shifting things around causes. For example, tariffs and whatnot, right? Just old economic orders change, and that can cause markets to go down for a little while. And then the new players that are going to benefit from those changes have that chance to pump back up. And so if we do see some type of a breakdown underneath that 95K region, then don't be surprised if we have a deeper pullback or even something very extreme and then maybe try again. Okay, I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying that it is possible. All of these projections here from the top are very possible, and my current projections are approximately 120K for that really extended move, and then we'll play it by ear from there. I'm a little bit wary of the people talking about $1 million. I can't really see past 150K myself, although I do understand the argument for that kind of 200K region. Definitely possible, but just to be super realistic and just understanding the linear growth as it is and just taking it at face value. Again, if you captured this move with us, then you guys are absolutely killing it, and you probably want to make sure you lock in some of that profit either by moving your stop losses up or, of course, by just skimming a little bit off the top, making sure you pay yourself along the way, putting a little cash in your pocket, right? You want to put food on your table. You don't want to just be holding coins, right, in another possible dump. And again, what could cause some type of a dump? Well, just understand that really what is driving a lot of this projection to the upside is the understanding that the Fed is cutting interest rates, making money easier to get. But if Trump decides to come in and do some tariffs, or if we get into a trade war because maybe China preemptively makes some moves, or Canada and Mexico preemptively make some moves, anyway, these things have a way of just spiraling and taking a life, upon themselves. And what could happen is that we get into a little bit of a trade war, we get into this kind of tariffs fight, and that causes inflation to rise because tariffs just make everything much, much more expensive. Okay, so just inflation is going to just roar back, and the Fed could decide that it's not going to cut rates until all of that gets sorted out. And that could be, just an uneasy end to the first quarter, maybe even in summer. We could be starting to see some type of a problems with the economy, and the markets may want to front run that. Oftentimes the markets are looking forward, and so if they front run that, you just want to be mentally prepared for that type of situation that could come, at the end of Q1 next year, maybe into the summer next year, and that the markets may get ahead of that, okay, ahead of themselves. Now, I'm not saying that is going to happen. It's just something that we're going to be watching out for, because typically speaking, markets do not just go straight up forever. Okay, there can't be just everyone winning. There has to be losers in markets. That's why you see all of these big pullbacks. That's why you see markets resetting themselves. It's not because people suddenly hate some type of an asset. It's just because it becomes more profitable to chase the price down and to short it to the ground, basically. When everyone is pointed in one direction, those big players just can make a lot of money, a lot of money by just liquidating everyone to the ground. And so we have to be a little bit more moderate in how we approach these things. And by being more moderate, we build in just a little bit more caution into the chart, which makes the chart a little bit healthier, which then, discourages those big players from trying to just change everything and pulling a 180 and just turning the whole ship around. Maybe they just want to have some pullbacks, right? So you can see just how, uneasy the market was here, and then we got a nice, just a huge kind of step-by-step healthy, right? Healthy, but a little bit skeptical step-by-step to the upside, and then we just started blazing to the upside, and that's when the big players said, "Yeah, we're going to make a ton of money just sinking that ship right all the way down." And again, guys, if we just get into that mode where we're starting to think up only, just understand that the markets can be highly encouraged to just dramatically pull it down, and it could be something beyond your expectation. Okay, if you're not open-minded to the fact that markets move both up and down, not just up only. And what could kind of give us a little bit of a heads up there? Well, I already gave you key levels to watch out for. But we're also starting to print one of these very large bearish bat patterns. So that does suggest to me that, although we could continue to impulse, and markets can be highly irrational, they can continue to impulse without a reset in a significant amount of time. But generally, it does come around, and this does suggest to me that the market does want to have some type of reset coming up. Okay, and again, just a really good value area looks like that $75,000 area. Without even giving bears control of the chart, this chart can just be really neutral between 95 to 85. So maybe an interesting place right around that 85, 86K area. And then, I'm really not worried unless we drop below that 95.5. But we've been hovering in this 101 area for so long that we just have to understand that sometimes that impulsive bullishness just wants to circle back. And it doesn't even mean that it drops that far. Maybe it just goes sideways for a while. So we could have this impulsiveness. It wants to drive back, and it could just go sideways for a while and then flip this area, right? It doesn't have to be anything too crazy. If we do flip this upper area, right, basically above that 104K area, then it will be looking good for continuation, right, in those warnings. Maybe will be a for not, or maybe just a put off till later. But anyways, guys, I did want to give you just a little bit of an update since we did, of course, capture this move on this channel and in the group. And of course, since we have been following this bull market, bull market ever since the bottom here. And again, guys, we did give that warning at the top of the market here that you probably wanted to get out. Definitely no later than here. And I think we saved a lot of people's butts with this type of information. If you'd like to support me, if you'd like to support my partners and just help this type of information get out there, and if you want regular updates, weekly macro, weekly charts, you want that team of traders to be on your side, and you want a healthy, kind of a non-toxic environment, then please go ahead and click the link in the description of the video below. You can join the forum, and I guarantee you there's a lot of good stuff to check out there. All right, guys, I'll see you in the group, and that's your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.